go, go. You know who I mean. Yeah. Aiden, grab your stuff right now. Grab your chair.
I want Mihai to see me right as he walks on that stage.
Joe, you know what? I don't want to hear anything that you say right now.
Oh, it's rain.
Now, move to the second row. You're fine. You guys move down this way.
Okay, so then...
Yep, you guys just move down. All the way down. Okay, we're all going to need some more music.
Everyone here should down. Yeah, you should all have players down. All of the saxophones are moving down to the chair. Oh, that's all clear enough to be over there. Yeah. No, it'll be cool.
So that we just created an
Oh, they're coming down right now.
There you go. Whatever you just did, I think is working.
Check.
market sensitive.
All right, we'll schedule another one sometime soon.
Troy said no crying.
It's not gonna happen. I know, Amy just texted me. I'm like, I can't even send something to you right now.
So he gets into the luxury boxes. I don't know who uses those today.
Stand there and then
Some dude.
Students, you may be seated. Good evening. Welcome, everyone. I'm Conrad Farner, Superintendent for the Arrowhead Union High School District. This is my second year in the district. I'm honored to be here this evening. I'd like to start by thanking quite a few people. School board members this evening up on the stage. We have Daryl Beneker, honorary member Tim Langer, had been on the school board for 14 years before retiring this year. Lynn Blage and Chris Adsett. In the crowd over here, President of the board Kim Schubert, board member Amy Hemmer, and board member Ann Angeli. I also need to extend a huge thank you to our buildings and grounds staff and our administrators and support staff who got this all set up. Great job, everyone. Thank you. As our 2025 graduating class brings this chapter of their life to a close, besides congratulating you and wishing you best of luck, I'm going to encourage you to make your own luck. I found that people who do 3 simple things in life tend to make themselves have very good luck. The first is work hard. There's no substitute for hard work. It's going to get you through many, many things. Don't give up. Keep working hard. The second one is think critically. And I don't mean being critical of what anybody else says or thinks. I'm talking about really listening, thinking about what you hear, thinking about what you see, compare it to what you know. Do your research, do your homework, talk to people you respect. If your beliefs are challenged, that's a good thing because it helps you figure out if you have the right beliefs. It maybe helps you have your beliefs grow and change a little bit. But you always want to think critically. Finally, be kind. I think those are 2 of the most powerful words in our language. Everyone deserves kindness. I think this world would be a much better place if everybody would just be a little bit more kind, especially when disagreeing about something. When we disagree with kindness and respect, we can get through just about anything. At this point, those of you who are in the choir, please quietly start proceeding down. Over this side? Both sides. I do want to say, parents, congratulations to all of you and a job well done. Graduates, be sure you thank your parents for all they've done. Let them know you love them. I want to thank Mr. Kurth, Ms. Gordon, and Ms. Vogel for all the work they've done, and you should thank them too. Also, please be sure to thank your teachers. We have amazing, amazing educators at Arrowhead, and they have done one heck of a job for you, so please be sure to thank them. Many of them are here tonight. At this time, if you're able to stand, please rise and join the senior choir under the direction of Gustavo Chaviano in our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red bells bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does
Good evening, my name is Adam Kurth and I'm proud to serve as the principal of Arrowhead High School. First, I'd like to share a few thank yous for those who made this weekend and tonight's event possible. Thanks to our band and choir, always beyond impressive and second to none. Thank you to Tammy Brassfield, Michelle Hill, and all of our many senior parent volunteers who put on quite an event last night to send our kids off at the senior party. My job tonight is to celebrate the senior class. I am able to do that because there are two people who do a tremendous amount of work behind the scenes to make tonight happen. So please join me in thanking Associate Principal Becky Gordon and North Admin Assistant Jen Justice, who did all the heavy lifting so that you can celebrate your students tonight. I'm extremely fortunate to serve as the principal of Arrowhead High School. We have one of the greatest schools in the country. Our success is an outcome of numerous efforts, and we always share that it takes a village to raise a child. In that, we'd like to thank some of the supporters that are here tonight. So if you belong to any of the following groups, please stand up and be recognized for your contribution to this great graduating class. Let's have our grandparents and extended family who are able, who made the trip today, stand and receive our appreciation for making this a special night for our students. A trademark and point of pride of Arrowhead. Would the Arrowhead alumni who are in our audience tonight, who continue to support this community and these students, please stand up and be recognized. We saw many of them this week, and they're sitting next to our students. Would our K-12 educators and staff in the audience who have supported these students through their journey stand and receive our appreciation? They don't stand. Any members of our military or first responders, active, retired, or future, please stand and receive our sincerest appreciation for your service. To our 9 students who have chosen to serve, the 9 of you, thank you for your courage and commitment to serve our country. And finally, students, rise for me. Find your parents and guardians in the audience, find your family. Any parents and guardians with us who have full rights to be proud today, stand and receive a well-deserved thank you. If any of you have received emails from me, you will almost always see the first line as "Greetings, school community." There is a direct tie. The stronger the school, the stronger the community, the stronger the community, the stronger the school. Together, we work towards this list that I am about to share. Each year, staff, coaches, and advisors are asked to share celebrations from the year to highlight for our graduates. This list is shared without names so that we can simply celebrate the success of the class through our Arrowhead motto, "One team, one last time." This is not an all-inclusive list, yet it is long and representative, and I will read as fast as I can. And we've reached the audience participation part of tonight. Many principals will ask for you all to be quiet. This is the time where you get to hoot and holler and cheer for these recognitions, as they deserve that, as we read through our list. Those of you who brought a seat cushion, good job. This class has one of the highest ratios in the state for students taking the test and achieving at this level, in having 9 national merit finalists. This class yesterday served as perfect role models as the first class to experience the AHS Grad Walk. This class had 11 global scholars this year, which through a 2-year intensive program to receive the Wisconsin Certificate of Global Competence. Seniors of this class on the baseball team won the Class A conference title all 4 years. This class had 5 girls graduating that were a part of the girls basketball team that won the school's first state championship in 33 years. Our JSA took their annual trip to Washington, D.C. and maintained their streak of not permanently losing any students. Several Jerry Awards were announced, including Outstanding Musical and Outstanding Leads for Arrowhead musicals Bright Star and Cinderella. Our girls Alpine won their 4th straight WIARA state championship. This class had a student who won the Bertie Green Travel Scholarship through our Spanish Honor Society, which was awarded to only 20 students nationally, and earned a free trip to Panama. One of our students earned the state's Outstanding Lead Performer for his role in Bright Star. What we believe is for the first time in AHS history, 2 students were selected as finalists for the WIAA Scholar Athlete Award in the same year. Seniors in this class never lost a Classic A Conference boys varsity soccer game in their 4 years. This class had 137 published authors, winning over $10,000 in state, national, and international writing competitions. Seniors in this class led a blood donation drive that saved an estimated nearly 500 lives. Ten seniors competed at our first state Skills USA competition in Madison, with 1 student finishing in 2nd place in the state for woodworking display. We had our very first 2 educational interns through a new pilot program to support future educators. One student can help you tie any knot, as they earned the rank of Eagle Scout, the highest honor available in Scouts. One student was a part of a team of only 20 teams in the nation to qualify for the Interscholastic Sailing Association National Championship Regatta in Connecticut. Two students have qualified for the National Youth Rowing Championships next week in Florida. $18 of our seniors successfully earned college credits through our dual enrollment academies at WCTC. I'm going to roll through these certifications quick. These are all certifications that our students earned. For the first time ever, AHS earned had 58 students who earned industry certifications in business, 5 Autodesk Inventor certified users, 38 students received UWGB transcripted credits through parametric modeling, look that one up. 14 students earned engineering dual credits through UW Green Bay for successfully completing mechanics of materials. 26 students earned industry recognized certifications through the Woodworking Career Alliance. 1 student earned an ASE entry-level certification in light maintenance and repair for our autos group. 14 students earned the All Data Certified Automotive Repair Information Specialist certificate. 40 students earned an Adobe Certified Professional certification. So we had students earning certifications in everything from engineering to woodworking to Adobe. So basically this class can design your dream house, build it, decorate it, put a car in it, and then market it for you. Four of our students qualified and competed at DECA Nationals this year. One student is attending state for Special Olympics, competing in the 200-meter, 4x100 relay, and 4x200 relay. One student won the Congressional District 5 Art Show for the state of Wisconsin, winning themselves a trip to Washington, D.C. for 2. This work will hang in the state capitol for the upcoming year. Most of us were lucky if our art made the fridge. Mine did not. Mom was a tough critic. We have some sports updates for you. Our boys track team took 3rd in state today, and our girls repeated as state champs. Our girls' soccer and baseball teams both advanced to sectionals. And our boys' tennis team advanced 3 players to state. One senior took home gold in the Wisconsin State Scholastic Art Competition, allowing her to go on and compete nationally. We had 3 senior girls who won back-to-back team state tennis titles and then won runner-up this past fall, winning 4 straight Classic 8 conference titles as well. And maybe their greatest accomplishment, this group of seniors survived 4 years of Arrowhead traffic. It's not shocking with all of the recognitions we've read so far. This class ranks 24th nationally for high school athletics. Five of our seniors traveled to New Orleans and performed in a World Strides Jazz and Heritage Festival. One of our seniors participated in the Wisconsin State Music Association State Honors Orchestra. Two students led a group of AHS students to collect over $16,000 and donated it all to the schools of Asheville, North Carolina in response to the hurricane last fall. Our NHS members from this graduating class gave back 3,862 hours of community service this year, combined with our Interact students who added another just over 3,700 hours for a total of over 7,500 hours of community service from this senior class this year. This class had 4 students who earned a perfect ACT score. This class is leaving a legacy as the 11th ranked high school in the state and 577th in the nation out of over 25,000 schools. Some of our students are here today, against all odds, working through adversities that most of us could not fathom, about to be graduates when they never thought it possible. And that feeds into this last statistic, which is unbelievable. Finally, this class, crushing any other average metric, is graduating tonight with their peers and classmates at a graduation rate of over 99% with their class. So if anyone asks what the class of 2025 accomplished, tell them pretty much everything. And then they still found time to beat that purple school to the west in the annual food drive, supporting families in our community 4 straight years. That is the end of an incomplete list. We hope that you heard the number of different ways in which our students accomplished these kind of successes, through academics, through athletics, through arts, through our activities, through service. An incredible group with an incredible amount of breadth to their impact. We also hope you heard the amount of times that champions, national, 4 straight years, highest, etc. were stated. No doubt, the list of successes from our students is unmatched in our state. Well done, seniors. You've made our community proud. Now that we've celebrated our accomplishments of the class, it's my opportunity to address you all one last time. You are my first 4-year class. For many students and family, that might not register or might have been missed, but for me, it magnifies my considerations, my responsibilities, and my appreciation for you all. You were patient, as we both learned 4 years ago what AHS is. You were flexible when we asked you to grow with us. You were resilient when dealt a tough hand by Act 95. You were open and curious when we changed the AHS that you had grown accustomed to in your final year. And through it all, you never faltered in your drive to be and to do great. Yesterday, you took part in a beautiful new tradition, growing our Hawk Walks to our community with the AHS Grad Walk. What an awesome experience that was. We were welcomed by over 2,000 K-8 students. I cannot imagine the Crayola budget because I'm pretty sure those 2,000 students made about 450,000 signs to celebrate you all. It was a special effort. Students, you saw it. The smiles on the students' faces as you all walked by were as innocent and as genuine as they can be. I had one kindergartner tell me that he screamed as loud and as long as he could the whole time. The teacher next to him, her face validated that effort. There was a girl who told me that she tried to high-five every student and her hand hurt so bad now, but she was smiling ear to ear. One girl asked me if I could tell Ella she says hi. I said, sure, what's your name? She said, no, you're supposed to tell Ella I said hi. I said, okay, what's your name? She said, tell Ella. So I knew I wasn't going to win that interaction, so I just said, you got it, and she smiled bigger than I could have ever imagined. I watched as students shed tears as they clung to their older sibling graduating today. The K-8 students were genuinely excited and clearly admired you all, and yesterday you made an incredible impact. Beyond the students, the tissues were flying as staff clutched on to former students with pride. I was truly impressed at the amount of teachers, administrators, maintenance crew, kitchen crew, counselors, support staff who still recognized you all by name after years of separation. That means you made an impact on them. We started the morning, we had 8 buses. I checked each bus starting in the back, making sure each bus had students and a staff member until I got to the front bus. I walked up the steps to 30 young gentlemen. Not a single female and not a staff member. I knew immediately this was my bus. 30 young men who I knew most of. This was the kind of bus your mama warned you about. And I loved it. Throughout the day, I spent time with this incredible group of young men and listened to them reminisce about their times in their elementaries and middle schools, talking about the hijinks that they got into, talking about the teachers that they loved, talking about the classrooms that they were in and the teams they were a part of and the clubs and all of the interactions and all the memories they had. And at one point, one of the students says, "Hey, Kurth, do you remember your days in school?" Yeah, I remember my days. What do you remember? And I'd already processed because I was listening to them have conversations, and my memories are the same as theirs. It's about the people that we were with at the time and the engagements that we had, the interactions that we had, what we did, how we got in trouble, how we did great things. And those were the memories that they were talking about. At each school, these gentlemen zipped up their gowns, straightened their hats, and walked through the halls, fist bumping and high-fiving the young students who admire them and set a perfect example for our community. It was a great reminder, though, that today isn't our outcome. That incredible list that I just read is not an outcome for you all. The past years of hard work that you all put in isn't the outcome. What it did give you was the skills, the understandings, the foundation to do great things, to create more memories with people. I guarantee the 7 other buses were talking about memories with people. The other side of that is we want you to take those memories and that foundation and continuously positively impact our world at a greater scale like you did yesterday morning for those kids. You are all so impressive to me. So is that exhaust system. You are all so impressive to me. Our world is aware we need less talkers and more doers. We need less influencers and more influential people. We need less images and more authenticity. We need less sympathy and more empathy for facing challenges together. We need less screen time, more people time. We don't need perfect people. Perfect people don't exist. But we need good people. And my response to all that criteria is, we just need more Arrowhead students. Each and every one of you validate my belief in our world. To our families, despite what social media and the news and our world sometimes loves to present about our high school age students, our kids are good people. Yes, they make mistakes. High school students never get older. They always make mistakes. Sometimes they make very big mistakes, but it's that time when they learn the most, and we hope that they take their own learning and they impress it upon their friends and the people that they engage with. Those mistakes are on display more than ever with our current world for people to judge. Let us judge, because your kids, our kids, are imperfectly incredible humans. Students, I'm proud of you all. As educators, we get a special insight into your lives because we get all of you for about 8 hours a day. Some of you for about 7 hours and 55 minutes. Yesterday summarized 13 years of our school community watching you grow into great humans. I made this statement last year and nearly lost composure. My wife and I have 3 children, ages 3, 5, and 8. I would trust each and every one of you with their care. Even you gentlemen on the bus Mama warned you about. You're all incredible people. You have it in you. Someday, if you make the decision to be a parent, you'll understand how significant that compliment is that I just gave you. Thank you, students. It has been my privilege to be your principal. Go from here and do extraordinary things with your lives. That's what we expect, and that's what we hope for you. Congratulations, class of 2025. Thank you. It is now my privilege to introduce our student speaker, so if our speakers can come to the front for us. this point, please also elbow any dads or grandpas who dozed off during my lengthy appreciation so you can enjoy these speeches, which are far better than mine. The 4 students speaking tonight were selected from a group of senior applicants who presented incredible speeches for considerations. Their speeches are diverse, impactful, and reflect the quality of AHS student that is graduating this year. The first speaker, who can just come here. The first speaker with a piece titled Mosaics. Please welcome Landry Nelson.
Hello everyone, my name is Landry Nelson, and I could not be more honored to stand before you today. I am so proud of each and every one of you. No 2 of us have walked the same path in getting here, but here we all are, sitting side by side in our red caps and gowns, wondering where all the time went. We each carry different memories, different struggles, and different stories, all of which have brought us to this moment. Part of my story takes place 8 years ago at Richmond School when my 4th grade teacher had us write a letter to our future selves. At this time, I was wearing knee-high unicorn socks every other day, and I had no true idea what my future would hold. On Wednesday, March 1st of 2017, I wrote many things. On one side of my letter, I wrote the essential information: who my favorite people were, who my favorite color was, and who my best friends were. On the other side, however, I wrote advice to my future self. A lot of what I wrote was misspelled or poorly worded. Some of my quotes were directly borrowed from Google or TJ Maxx decorations. But what stood out to me most in my letter was an original quote: "Cherish the moments that make you, you." While this quote is cheesy and clearly written by a 9-year-old, primarily because I spelled cherish wrong, there was some amount of wisdom that this little girl had. Today marks the beginning of a new stage in our lives. But before we look too far ahead, it's important to remember all the moments that brought us to this. Each one of us is composed of all our individual experiences, the moments that make us us. We are mosaics of our moments, and perhaps the most important moments took place here. We've spent the last 4 years learning who we are, discovering what's important to us, and creating memories that will last a lifetime. Our dedicated teachers and coaches have excelled in giving us essential knowledge, both in and out of the classroom. We've created valuable connections with our like-minded peers. And whether you spent your time in sports, theater, arts, clubs, or something entirely different, we have all left individual legacies. Individual legacies that have been compiled into a meaningful mosaic. We have grown so tremendously during the last 4 years. Our time at Arrowhead has allowed us to build a strong foundation, a foundation that we will continue to build upon for all that comes next. The memories we've made and the moments we've had here are what shape us into who we are today. As we move forward, each one of us will continue forging paths that are uniquely our own. But what we will always share are the memories that we made here, the moments that have created our uniquely beautiful mosaics. So, to the class of 2025, I hope you all continue to cherish the moments that made you who you are, the moments you made here. Arrowhead class of 2025, thank you for every laugh, every lesson, and every moment. You will always be a wonderful piece of my mosaic.
Landry did amazing, but I do want to mention that how incredibly difficult it is to speak at this podium, not only because there's a few thousand faces staring at you, but there is a split-second delay from when you talk to the mic and when it comes out of our speaker system, and it also decided to reflect off our north building and come back. So our speakers are dealing with two echoes as they speak. So Landry did amazing. Just want to make our audience aware of how challenging it is to speak at this microphone for our students. The next speaker, with their piece titled The Next Turn on the Track, please welcome Gabby Haas.
Arrowhead High School, a tradition of excellence. From our first day at Wings, Arrowhead set the standard for us. Strive for excellence. Arrowhead has created a culture of success, and we've all added to it over the past 4 years. But we made it because we passed our exams, completed projects, and well, because the procrastination worked in our favor. Told you, Dad. But as our high school journey ends, we will shortly walk across the stage to receive our diplomas, which reflect the successes and failures we have all experienced at Arrowhead. Whoa, did I just say failure at a graduation ceremony? At an Arrowhead graduation ceremony? Yes, I did. It is hard to admit, but we have all failed at some point or a couple of points during our high school careers. But I bring it up because failure is the most important lesson we have learned at Arrowhead. The ability to fail is so often overlooked because society tells us that failure defines us, not refines us. Arrowhead's motto, a tradition of excellence, encourages students to find a way not just to accept failure and move on, but to embrace from it and learn from it, because without falter, we cannot find success and can't truly appreciate the taste of victory. But some of our greatest successes will come from our biggest failures. J.K. Rowling, Michael Jordan, and Walt Disney can all attest to this. By getting rejected time and time again by the red marks on the movie scripts and constantly being overlooked by harsh publishers and coaches. But instead of being haunted by the no's, the red pen, and others' opinions, they embraced the failure, reevaluated, revised, and reattempted. They didn't let failure define them, and instead we remember their successes, not the journey it took to get there. But just like these celebrities, our journey to success is like a roller coaster. You will experience ups and downs and unexpected turns on the track. But let me remind you, these scary parts of the coaster aren't the end. You push through the fear, adrenaline, or excitement till you get back to the flat. But when you're on the roller coaster, do you hop off when you get to the unexpected drop or corkscrew? No, of course not. You hold on to the bars a little tighter, knuckles white, and you finish the ride. Your approach to failure should be just like a roller coaster. Push through, have grit. Our high school careers were nothing short of a roller coaster, and we've all been on our own tracks at Arrowhead. Maybe you're an athlete, a part of Broadway company, or heavily involved in clubs. Whatever your track was, I can guarantee failure was a part of your story. Let failure be a part of your story, but not the end of it. Make sure you aren't jumping out of the seat when the track gets hard. Hold on, let those knuckles get white, and the screams echo, because your ride is far from over. We're at the edge of our future and about to embark on a new stretch of track. This should be exciting. But before we exit the Arrowhead track and jump on our separate tracks, class of 2025, please remember 5 things. 1, failure will come, and that's okay. 2, it's not something to fear, but something to be learned from. 3, change your attitude towards failure from defining to refining. 4, always remember you are a part of Arrowhead's tradition of excellence. And 5, don't forget to call your mom. Congratulations and embrace the track ahead. Don't jump off.
Our third student speaker, with his speech titled A Stepping Stone, please welcome Drake Rahibi.
Get this adjusted here. Well, good evening, everyone. Students, families, teachers, and friends. I've been thinking about this moment for over 4 years. Ever since freshman year, when I walked through the doors here at Arrowhead Union High School for the first time, I've wondered, what would I say if I ever got the chance to stand up here? I didn't know back then what the exact words would be, but I had a feeling that someday they would matter. And now, here we are. So here's what I've come to realize. High school is a stepping stone. It's not the final destination, and it's not the entire journey. It's the foundation we've been building, one day, one challenge, one memory at a time. These past 4 years here at Arrowhead have been filled with moments that have shaped some big, some small. Whether it was passing that one class we weren't sure we would survive, trying something completely new, or just making it through the week. We learned, we grew, and we adapted. High school taught us more than just facts and figures. It taught us how to be resilient, how to collaborate, how to keep moving forward, and to keep the next step even if it was uncertain. And that brings me to something just a little more personal. For the past 5 years, I've worked in the landscaping industry. And let me tell you, when you spend that much time laying down actual stones, you start to appreciate the metaphor. You learn that a stone has to be level, that it takes effort and patience to place it just right, and that when you step back and see the path that you've created, it's worth every bit of sweat and dirt. It's also worth noting that you should be proud and understand everyone's path, no matter how big or small, will be different. That's what high school has been for us all. We've each laid down our own stones, class by class, test by test, even friendship by friendship. We've built a path beneath our feet, and now we get to take the next steps. So to the class of Arrowhead here at 2025, oh, my bad. Be proud of the stone you've stood on. Be grateful for the people who helped you lay it, your teachers, your families, and your friends. And most importantly, don't be afraid to keep building, keep stepping, and keep growing. Because high school was not the whole story. It was just the beginning. Congratulations, class of 2025. We made it.
What you're all thinking is correct. Drake is clearly from Boston. Our final speaker, with her piece titled Full Circle Moments, please welcome Riley Gagnon.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for the reply. Okay, so good evening, friends, family, faculty, and fellow members of the class of 2025. For those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Riley Gagnon, and let me tell you, I am incredibly honored to be standing in front of you all. This moment really feels like it's coming full circle for me, as at the beginning of this school year, I had the pleasure of giving a speech to Arrowhead's freshman class of 2028. And now, I get to give one to my own class of graduating seniors.
In my speech to the freshman class, I spoke about maximizing your high school experience through working hard, making connections, and putting yourself out there. Giving that speech really meant a lot to me, as my own little sister was in that crowd of freshmen. On the car ride home, I asked her, was it any good? Did you take anything away? Did we like it? And I'll never forget it. She turns back to me and goes, it was good, but I don't remember anything you talked about. So, I'm hoping you all can listen just a little bit better than she could, and hopefully take something away from my speech tonight. Because if high school has taught us anything, it's that even the smallest, seemingly insignificant moments, like a Friday morning speech to a group of freshmen, can matter in the end. Each of these moments becomes one small dot in a far bigger picture, or, as I'd like to see it, a circle. Thinking about how giving this speech has been a full circle moment for me led me to reflect on other full circle moments that we as seniors have experienced within the past year. These moments range from sitting together at Wings to sitting side by side one last time at graduation, or stressing out over first semester finals freshman year to just trying our best to get through the very last ones. We all remember getting dropped off at school on our first day of 9th grade, and now, tonight, we will drive away from Arrowhead for the very last time. We watched the sunrise on our first day of senior year, and then again as it set on our last. I'm sure we all remember getting our school emails in elementary school and thinking to ourselves that that year in that email, 2025, was so far away. But now, seemingly without our notice, that year, our graduation year, has finally arrived. With that in mind, I want to invite you all to think about the last time that you drew a circle. A weird request, I know, but please, just take the time to think about it. So, no offense, but I'm guessing that that circle you were thinking about wasn't much of a circle at all. Often, when you ask someone to draw a circle, it ends up looking much more like an oval or an egg with bumps or disconnects or imperfections in it. Well, luckily for us, high school most certainly wasn't perfect either. And actually, this concept of imperfect circles is fully representative of each of our high school experiences. Some of yours may have truly been a perfect circle, and for those of you, good job, congrats. But having some bumps or imperfections, whether that be a bad grade or simply just a bad day, is a completely inevitable part of the experience. The beauty in these imperfect full circle moments is that we get to draw every single mark on them. And while you unfortunately can't erase any of these marks, there's no whiteout at your disposal. Even one small, imperfect mark can be a part of a beautiful full circle when all is said and done. So, class of 2025, as you walk across this stage, as you grab hold of your diploma, and as you throw your grad cap up into the air, remember that while bittersweet, this moment is a beautiful one, because not only are you drawing the very last mark on this full circle moment, but you're drawing the very first mark on your next full circle moment. Remember that it can take any shape you'd like, if only you have the desire to draw it. Thank you.
It's now my privilege to introduce this year's staff speaker. Each year, over 40 members of the principal's cabinet nominate teachers to speak at graduation. The senior members of the principal's cabinet then select the teacher who they believe had the greatest impact on their class and classmates. This class's speaker of impact is Arrowhead Social Studies teacher, Mr. Joe Paul.
I'd like to start by thanking the senior class for offering me the opportunity to speak today. It's truly an honor, and I sincerely appreciate it. Students who have had me in class know that I have a deep admiration for Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln had a peculiar habit of telling down-home, folksy anecdotes when he wanted to prove a point or impart a lesson. Today I'm going to channel my inner Abraham Lincoln and share with you a very Lincoln-esque story, a down-home, folksy story that highlights the importance of believing in a power of you. 203 years ago, my 8-year-old self was growing up in the small rural community of New Holstein, Wisconsin. Back then, everyone in town was required to have a license plate attached to the back of their bicycle. These weren't stickers or flimsy tags. They were actual stamped metal plates, about a fifth the size of a car's, fastened to the bicycle seat with 2 metal clips. Every year brought a new color plate, and they were stamped only with numbers, no letters. I never questioned why we needed them or what purpose they served. All I knew was that every summer I had to line up at City Hall for my new plate, just like everyone else. That summer, when I was 8, the police department announced a bicycle safety contest with an almost mythical prize, the #1 license plate. Every kid in town, including me, dreamed of clipping that iconic plate to their bike seat. And the reason was simple: an unwritten code that equated low number plates with coolness. The #1 plate thus conferred instant hero status to whichever kid possessed it and ensured a year's worth of admiration and fame. My heart sank, however, when I found out the path to the coveted #1 plate required me to create a poster promoting bicycle safety. My handwriting was barely legible and my artistic abilities non-existent. Still, with the ultimate prize on the line, I had no choice but to try. I attempted bubble letters for the title, but several turned out so mangled and misshapen that they looked like they had been in bicycle accidents themselves. My main illustration featured a kid showing off on his bike and then wiping out. I tried so hard to make it perfect that I actually erased a hole straight through the paper and then cried numerous tears onto it, leaving behind a ring of wrinkly tear stains that highlighted the hole. My stick figure kid had giant brick-like feet and what appeared to be baseball gloves for hands. The bicycle itself was a Frankenstein-like monstrosity of random bike parts stitched together with zero structural logic. In your own lives, you've probably seen something so awful that you thought, it looks like a second grader did this. Well, that was my poster. And fittingly, I was fresh out of the second grade. The poster was so embarrassing that I tried to hide it from my mom to keep her from submitting it. Not only did my mom find the poster and submit it, she also insisted we visit the library to view all the other submissions. I didn't think it was possible to feel worse about my poster, but I certainly did after viewing my competition. Perfectly drawn and evenly spaced bubble letters, anatomically correct people, bicycles that looked rideable, no holes, and certainly no dried tears. When we reached the end of the display case, without seeing my poster anywhere, I felt a mix of relief that my disaster wasn't hanging next to these masterpieces, and horror that they found my poster so repulsive that they threw it away. But there was one final display case left to see, and that one held the winning entry. As we stepped in front of it, I was absolutely dumbstruck, for staring back at me from behind the glass was my poster. My mom finally broke the silence with a simple yet profound remark that has stayed with me for 43 years. She said, "I guess they appreciated that you did it yourself." I did it myself. No shortcuts, no hacks, no cheat codes, just me. And shortly thereafter, I was rewarded for that effort with every 8-year-old's dream come true. The #1 license plate. I'm not sure if Lincoln cried at the end of his speeches, but I really appreciate that. There will be countless moments in life when you will doubt yourself and your abilities. This insecurity might tempt you to take the easy way out, to cut corners, to have someone or something do your work for you. Resist this temptation. Resist with all your heart and soul. Have faith in yourself. Believe in the power of you. Life will throw many challenges at you. And there may be eraser holes and tears along the way. But never lose confidence in your own abilities. Never stop believing in the power of you. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be rewarded for that belief with the #1 license plate of your very own. Thank you.
Well, the students coming forward in just a moment to receive their diplomas. The names are read fast, so this time we ask you to hold your applause so that each family can hear their student's name being read as any applause overlaps the following student's name. There's a beautiful sunset that's happening behind you all, almost symbolic for this time. Because it is my honor to formally present the class of 2025 to our superintendent and school board. On behalf of the Arrowhead staff, I would like to commend the class of 2025 for meeting and exceeding the challenges put before them. Superintendent Farner and the members of the Arrowhead School Board, I now proudly present to you, for the last time as seniors, the Arrowhead High School class of 2025.
And now, by the power vested in me, oh no, I really have no power, sorry. I just always wanted to say that. As superintendent of the Arrowhead Union High School District, I certify to the Arrowhead Union High School Board that the students before us have met the standards and criteria for high school graduation as set forth by the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction and the Arrowhead Union High School District. Therefore, they shall be awarded their high school diplomas. Graduates, when directed to do so, please come forward to accept your diplomas. Let's do this.
Kylie Ann Adams.
Kaylin Liebird.
Cameron Charles Patrick Albright.
Graydon Michael Lethan.
Ava Rose Anderson.
Noah Ryan Lillienkamp.
Benjamin Michael Anderson.
Marin Elizabeth Lillisand.
Cohen J. Anderson.
Paige Mabel Morgan Lind.
Owen Wade Anderson.
John Henry Lindmark.
Timothy James Anderson.
Mason Matthew Galong.
Casey Robert Andringa.
Alexandra Elizabeth Lovern.
Pablo Arcediano.
Andrea Alondra Lazoya.
Cora Jane Arnold.
Allison Nicole Lucession.
Alyssa Renee Babe.
Mason Michael Ludke.
Emily Marie Baber.
Cyrus Lunt.
James Jacob Bakar.
Talon Taylor Lusk.
Ben Bamba.
Alessandra Misha Mafucci.
Gia Bomra.
Emma Ann Olivia Malcheski.
Matthew Bennett
Ty Charles Mallison.
Damian Beck.
William Thomas Manchester.
Julian Beck.
Hudson Jude Maniscalco.
Jessica Elizabeth Becker.
Austin Tyler Mann.
Alec Jeffrey Beringer.
Amanda Rose Manti.
Nevaeh C. Bell.
Colin C. Marks.
Jackson Robert Beneker.
Brady James Marms.
Emerson Joy Berger.
Cheyenne Marquardt.
Carson James Blado.
Marina Elizabeth Maris.
McAllister Matthew Bong.
Tristan James Marvelli.
Isabella Madison Bore.
Mallory Ann Matson.
Carson Joseph Borkowitz.
Julia Louise Matson.
Josen Stephen Boudreau.
Parker William Mayhew.
Jason Paul Brumeyer Zayas.
Gabrielle Olivia McEnany.
Tatum Grace Brassfield.
Nettie May McCulchy.
Corey James Brasgal.
Declan McCullion.
Aaron Lynch Bremer.
Haley Lynn McCoy.
Evalise M. Brim.
Mavia Joyce McCright.
Ayla Jean Britnocker.
Colin John McDowell.
Camden Davis Britnocker.
Sophia Grace McGinley.
Channing Lynn Brown.
Bowen McKay.
Elliot Elizabeth Bruckbauer.
Riley McKay.
Alexandra Paige Brunner.
Aubrey Taylor Medina.
Jake Edward Buddy.
Addison Joy Meisner.
Cassidy Lane Burley.
Isabel Lorraine Menden.
Ethan Matthew Bull.
Caitlin Catherine Menz.
Ethan Jerome Burgard.
Charles Scott Merck.
Colton Burkhart.
Carter Reese Mertens.
Olivia Murphy Burns.
Meryl Shea Messenbrink.
Madeline Audrey Burton.
Elise Ann Muse.
Mihai Bernays.
Alex Marie Meyer.
Courtney Catherine Kalmus.
Benjamin Michael Meyer.
Mark Casas Says.
Elijah Meyer.
Dylan Matthew Case.
Rachel Lynn Meyer.
Isabel Juana Catalano.
Sydney Jane McCulick.
Grace Olivia Caves.
Cameron Joel Miller.
Jackson Darren Clark.
Kylie Lynn Mills.
Alexis Maria Connor.
Hunter Kenneth Mishakowski.
Carson Roberts Consigny.
Louis James Monson.
Troy R. Cookson.
Wesley Moran.
Lauren May Cooney.
Michaela Rose Morris.
Andrew James Carraggio.
Marin Madeline Motts.
Xavier Robert Corey.
Annika Marie Miller.
Valeria Coronado.
Hannah Miller.
Francis Emily Corey.
Brenna Madison Murphy.
Aiden William Costa.
Griffin Dennis Myers.
William Brooks Cooey.
Logan James Neitzel.
Jacqueline Ruth Zeeb Cox.
Joseph Ryan Neckage.
Joshua Stephen Parker Coy.
Landry Renee Nelson.
Andrea Joe Crivello.
Ryan Raymond Nelson.
Eli Jerry Cull.
Emma Dorothy Netchian.
Emery Lee Cummins Brown.
Asher Michael Newmeyer.
Ella Jean Cutts.
Isabel C. Newmeyer.
Broden Dahl.
Matthew Name Snigel.
Gavin Lucas Dye.
Ava Rose Noe.
Annabelle Marie Dawn.
Camila M. Obiashi.
Francis Patrick Dravis.
Aaron Jeffrey Ormond.
Taya DeVries.
Tessa Grace Olderman.
Sarah May DeBoard.
Angelina Maria Orlando.
John Patrick Dempsey.
Olivia Nicole Orzahowski.
Christiane Gwendolyn Dempsey.
Isabel Anessa Austin.
Madeline Ruby Dempsey.
Garrett Evan Packer.
Carson James DePelito.
Beck Marshall Palmquist.
Caitlin Ryan Dermody.
Cameron James Parsons.
McKenna Page Doman.
Braden Charles Patterson.
Joanna Dong.
Veronica Ann Paukin.
Dylan James Doro.
Julia Catherine Payne.
Kira Drager.
Abigail Catherine Peterson.
Jack Thomas Dreckman.
Matthew George Pelchat.
Noah F. Ducey.
Hannah U. Perugini.
Kira Jordan Durant.
Andrew T. Fennerstill.
Samantha Marie Duran.
Maura Catherine Phillips.
Estella May Dyer.
Ellie Corinne Pearson.
Leah Michelle Ecker.
Chloe Joe Pingle.
Danielle Arlie Ernott.
Kian Pin Harrow.
Dylan Henry Einert.
Cameron Ray Pino.
Andrew William Epstein.
Charles Henry Platten.
Betsy Lane Estill.
Rachel Marie Polchinski.
Parker A. Ewing.
Ethan William Polidori.
Audrey Claire Faulkner Wargle.
Ava Lorraine Prince.
Xavier Gordon Fallon.
Liliana Ruth Reve Puetzer.
Matilde Elena Fava.
Isabella Eileen Pulvermacher.
Case Alexander Ferguson.
Amelia Putanano.
Aiden Michael Figueroa.
Rachel B. Radish.
Elijah John Fink.
Samantha Jean Radish.
Gage Lucas Finn.
Drake Stephen Rahibi.
Avery Lynn Fitzgerald.
Elsa Madeline Ratner.
Finn Ronald Fitzgerald.
Callie Ann Rauch.
Robert Ray Flanagan.
Alexa Grace Reed.
Sebastian John Florant.
Kate Madeline Race.
James William Flim.
Riley Taylor Reed.
Irafel Anderson Fode.
Rachel Ann Reedy.
Jada N. Forney.
Rebecca Marie Reedy.
Lucy Louise Friedman.
Harper Quinn Richards.
Stella Ann Fromstein.
Evan Campbell Riemenscheider.
Abigail Louise Gar.
Maggie Noel Riggs.
Vaughn Braden Gagliano.
Nicole Joyce Rivard.
Riley Grace Gagnon.
Jacob Michael Road.
Ella Corinne Galster.
Ian Randall Robert.
John Paul T. Gambatese.
Jack Spencer Robershard.
Javier Alejandro Gamino.
Jesse Eric Rockard.
Braden J. Gall.
Riley Ray Rock Teacher.
Denise Iyer
Nora May Rogers.
Nidhi Iyer George.
Katerina Isabel Romagna.
Ireland Adele Gerlach.
Christian B. Rothmeyer.
Megan Milena Getty.
Jack Landon Raventini.
Kelsey Grace Gilbertson.
Hayden Christian Russ.
Ashlyn Lynn Garon.
Tyler Mark Reinders.
Nicholas John Gilroy.
Christopher David Sackett.
Jacob Lawrence Gimla.
Brecken Andrew Saffert.
Vivian Virginia Glass.
Audrey Renee Saloga.
Samantha Elizabeth Glacian.
Dexter Sample.
Lucas William Goodluck.
Aiden Unitas Sayavoing.
Ethan's James Gamala.
Ainsley Rose Shock.
Haley Rose Gray.
Isabella Marie Scariance.
Olivia Louise Green.
Aiden Chaswick Slees.
Greta Faye Gundrum.
Catherine Joy Schmitz.
Gabrielle Tyrell Haas.
Elsa Joy Schneider.
Dashel Hubeck.
Maya Lynn Schneider.
Isabella Rosemary Hall.
Amber Sierra Wendy Schultz Everts.
Peyton James Hamel.
Jalen Ann Schultz.
Ava Mae Hansen.
Lillian May Schultz.
Eleanor Sarah Hansen.
Brooke Elizabeth Schumacher.
Tanner Allen Hansen.
Sierra Michelle Scott.
Ella Lynn Hanusa.
Tyler John Cedar.
Ilsa Catherine Hardkey Laughlin.
Becca Michelle Sellers.
Jackson Thomas Hargraves.
Ella Rose Serwin.
Lauren Nicole Harlos.
Grant Lucas Sevcik.
Hadley K. Harmelink.
Brooke Colette Sexton.
Isabella June Harness.
Rylan Thomas Schaefer.
Andrew William Harshbarger.
Amanda Elizabeth Shaw.
Maura A. Hartnett.
Ty Roland Sherman.
Lucas Carl Harvey.
Samuel John Siebold.
Evan Gary Hassler.
Nico Thomas Silvies Trey Day.
Benjamin Holden Hayworth.
Allison L. Sinnitz.
Jenna Lynn Hazelwood.
Margaret
Jessica
Jennifer
Christine Heckenkip.
Matthew Jacob Smith.
Ethan Sean Heinzelman.
Quinn Avery Sundrell.
Haley Rose Henschel.
Elaine Christine Brynar Soto.
Jackson Hunter Hepp.
Gracie Marie Spanbauer.
Ava Cecilia Herman.
Brock Thomas Blaine.
Aiden Thomas Sharma.
Owen Michael Stahal.
Isabella Marie Jamel.
Skylar David Stam.
Jack Tyler Hill.
Addison Page Stanisławski.
Layla Hefner.
Alan Kendro Steinlecki.
Nicholas Landon Home.
Miette Lancel Steiger.
AJ Holmes.
Addison Diane Strack.
Vance George Holt.
Julia Rose Strobush.
Annalise Ray Hauer.
Miranda Lynn Struth.
Caden J. Humbert.
Cadence Day Stewart.
Colin Joseph Huth.
Aaron Joseph Saminsky.
Molly Ann Ignatowski.
Yamato Jack Jr. Takahashi.
Trenton James English.
Tess Elizabeth Talbot.
Megan Riley Isabel.
Caitlin Jane Tarkowski.
Andrew Dardis John.
Paige Ellen Taylor.
Nathan William James.
Natalie Jane Tyler.
Catherine Ray Jandora.
Ava Rose Thiede.
Nicole Grace Janice.
Eamon Maxwell Thomas.
Wade Stanley Jeskolski.
Madeline Sage Motano Thomas.
Austin M. Jens.
Lauren Charlotte Thompson.
Kai Nicole Jensen.
Nathaniel James Thorpe.
Hannah Grace Yachman.
Trent Thurner.
Andrea Elizabeth Johnson.
Sophia Tinarelli.
Claire Mary Johnson.
Callie Rose Tolzman.
Clara Margaret Johnston.
Harrison Powell Tomich.
Allison Marie Jones.
Chloe Marie Top.
Mia Elizabeth Jones.
Benjamin Michael Tweeden.
Elise Marie Youngbluth.
Madeline Sophie Unger.
Landon Ralph Youngbluth.
Mila Jacqueline Unterwedger.
Grace Lauren Kazmarek.
Jalen Marie Varner.
Dylan Marshall Cadleck.
Connor James Vasick.
Michaela Morgan Kaminsky.
Bernu Jonas Vermilion.
Carson James Kane.
Sophia Marie Vetta.
Jack Henry Kantorix.
Terry Lee Burek.
Manasi Kartikeyan.
Jackson John Robert Veith.
Maxwell Francis Kasperzak.
Kara Marie Vogeltons.
Javier Jacob Kastner.
William James Wagner.
Gunnar Kikaisen.
Ty Christopher Wall.
Timothy Peyton Kelly.
Briley Jan Wallows.
Nicholas Lee Kempen.
Nolan Michael Walsh.
Teresa Rose Ketsnovic.
Ella Christine Waters.
Jaden John King.
Dwayne Wang.
Nathaniel James Kisting.
Aiden Claire Ward.
Paige Amelia Klingel.
Elena Jean Ward.
Kennedy Sue Klubtrans.
And Ruth Warrior.
Tyler James Michael Canaby.
Signey John Warwick.
Owen Anthony Knaus.
Mason Seeger Waterfield.
Miranda Aaliyah Ann Knuth.
Evan Lewis Watson.
Owen Cook.
Katie Lee Whitener.
Rachel Isabella Koenig.
Benjamin William Wellington.
Ella Mae Kepke.
Marcus Franklin Wenzel.
Paige Ashlyn Coleman.
Gabriella Nicole West.
David Edward Kollar.
Addison Lee Whalen.
Lily Michael Colpine.
Carly Ray White.
Samuel Owen Kopatich.
Catherine Victoria Wilhelm.
Tyler Jace Kopka.
Titus D. Wilhelm.
Kia Isabel Copeland Porteretz.
Addison R. Williams.
Avery Elizabeth Kovaleski.
Dominic Arnold Williams.
Aaron Mason Kransman.
Catherine Marie Williams.
Avery Regina Kransman.
Madeline Grace Williams.
Seth Robert Krause.
Joelle Louise Wynn.
Ryan James Krebs.
Gianna Gabriella Woida.
Charles Lawrence Hunt Kremser.
Angus Minahan Wolf.
John Michael Kubish.
Rachel Suzanne Wolf.
Olivia Christiane Kocharski.
Claire Neveo Wolf.
Liliana Bren Carrick.
Gabriel Elijah Wolfer.
Peter Bradley Kuswell.
Alexander Francis Wood.
Charlie Layler.
Jarrett Heath Woodard.
Brady David Landis.
Ella Catherine Yearling.
Sophia Louise Lang.
Ashley Jane Yee.
Tyler Jeffrey Landis.
Nathaniel Ian Yunt.
Blake Allen Larson.
Zachary James Zaluski.
Parker Kenneth Lauren.
Eva Sophia Zambarini.
Samuel Robert Laus.
Christopher Zahner.
William Thomas Laus.
Noah William Zell.
Jacob Michael Ledger.
Eason Zhang.
Charlotte May Leiterman.
Jonas Zhang.
Daisy Jean Leiterman.
Emma Carol Ziaya.
Jack Walker Lesh.
Braden Lee Zilski. Joshua Daniel Zergabel. Zeta Lynn Zivietz.
That was like the hardest 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was arranged. Superintendent Farner says he has no influence. Finally, it's the moment that all the students have been waiting for. I would like to introduce the president of the AHS Student Senate, Carson Borkowitz, who will address the class and preside over the tassel ceremony.
Sir. All right, Carson, you got it. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carson Borkowitz, and I'm the class president for this school year. I'm here to bring our ceremony to a close. But before we finish our night, Arrowhead would like to recognize the following retiring staff members for their many years of amazing work. Mrs. Fassler, English. Mr. Messenberg, Science. Sorry. And Mr. Whalen, Tech Ed. These staff members combined for 84 years of experience. Let's give them another round of applause. Graduates, please rise. It has been my honor to serve you during your time at Arrowhead High School. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to officially present to you the Arrowhead High School class of 2025. Students, you may now switch your tassel from the right to the left. Congratulations, graduates of the class of 2025!